Sayın Başkan,
Excellency President of UNGA, Excellencies Heads of State and Government, Distinguished Secretary General, distinguished delegation members, on behalf of myself and my nation, I greet you all with most heartfelt feelings. I wish for the 80th United Nations General Assembly to bring blessings to all humanity. I am deeply honored to address you once again from this podium, which represents the collective conscience of humanity. I congratulate Mr. Young, who has completed his term as President of the General Assembly, and I wish success to Ms. Baerbock, who has taken over this position. At the outset of my speech, I would like to first express my regret at the absence today of the President of the State of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas, at a time when Palestine is being recognized by an increasing number of countries. Today, we stand here on this podium. I stand here on this podium alongside my 86 million citizens, also for our Palestinian brothers and sisters whose voices are being silenced. I'd like to thank all the countries who announced that they recognize the state of Palestine, and I call on all the other countries who have not done so yet to do so, to recognize the state of Palestine as soon as possible. Esteemed President, distinguished members, the United Nations Charter was signed in San Francisco 8 years ago, and it entered into force on October the 24th, 1945. I would like to recall here again the first words of the first article of the UN Charter. Quote, "The purpose of the United Nations is to maintain international peace and security," unquote. As we celebrate the 80th anniversary of the UN in this hall, grave events are unfolding in many parts of the world that cast a shadow over the very first words of the UN Charter's opening article. Particularly in Gaza, right before our very eyes, genocide has been going on for over 700 days now. Even as we gather here, as we speak now, Israel is currently massacring civilians in Gaza. The number of civilian casualties in Gaza has surpassed 65,000. Unfortunately, the number of people who are still trapped under the rubble is not yet known, and more than 20,000 of those who died were children. For the last 23 months, a child has been murdered by Israel in Gaza every hour. Yes, every hour. These are not just figures, dear friends. All of these, each one of these is a person, a human being, innocent people. People are now being killed not with weapons, but with the weapon of starvation. In the 21st century, under the gaze of the civilized world, 428 people died of starvation. Out of those 428, 146 were children, and this number is increasing every day. Now, I will show you a photo, which is a picture from daily life in Gaza. The first photo, as you see, these are people. These are women with these cups that they are holding in their hands, cups and buckets. Just feel your conscience and answer the following question. Can we possibly have a reasonable reason for this brutality in 2025? But this shameful picture in Gaza has been unfolding and is being repeated every day for 23 months now. And there are 2.5 million Gazans who live in 365 square kilometers. And every day, what happens is they are being dragged from one place to another. The healthcare infrastructure of Gaza is completely collapsed. Doctors have been killed, or they have disappeared while under custody. Ambulances have been hit. Hospitals targeted and destroyed. Treatment is not possible. Surgery is not possible. It's not possible to find medications. Now, dear friends, now as Tayyip Erdogan, with a heavy heart, with my heart bleeding here, I am telling you, innocent little ones, just 2 or 3 years old, without hands, arms, or legs, have become, unfortunately, a common sight to see in Gaza. This one. What kind of a human conscience can possibly bear this? Possibly. How can one stay silent vis-a-vis this? In a world where children are dying of starvation and lack of medication, can we possibly have calm and peace? We all are parents. We have children or grandchildren who we dearly cherish. Here, say in America or in Europe, anywhere in the world, when a small rose thorn hurts a child's hand, the hearts of parents break. But in Gaza, children's hands, arms, and legs are being amputated without anesthesia. Now, I'm extremely sorry to say, but this represents the lowest point of humanity. Human history has not witnessed such bloodshed within the last century. All of this is happening before our very eyes. The genocide in Gaza is being broadcast live every moment through the media and social media. So far, Israel has deliberately killed 250 journalists working in national and international media in Gaza. And they have closed all the entrance into Gaza, but they still have not been able to cover up the genocide. I wholeheartedly support Secretary General Guterres because he consistently draws attention to the ongoing genocide in Palestinian territories, and I would like to once again congratulate him for his courage. But the United Nations has not even been able to protect its own personnel in Gaza, unfortunately. In Gaza, 500 people rushing to help others have been killed. Out of those 500, 326 were UN staff members. Esteemed President, distinguished members, now, genocide, like the Holocaust, is a shameful concept which refers to the mass extermination of people. It's a barbaric concept. But today, it's not only people who are being killed in Gaza, mind you. Animals are being targeted and killed in Gaza. In Gaza, agricultural land, gardens, trees, grass, century-old olive trees are being destroyed. In Gaza, water supplies are being destroyed and polluted. Buildings, homes, libraries, hospitals, schools, mosques, churches, and historical structures in Gaza are being deliberately destroyed. The soil of Gaza is being rendered useless for humans, for animals, and for plants. So, Now, let me show you yet another photo. And let me ask you here. Look at this photo. What could this photo here possibly have to do with security concerns? This is being against life, don't you think? Let me state this openly from this podium. There is no war in Gaza. We cannot possibly talk about the presence of two sides in Gaza. Because in Gaza, on one side, there is a regular army with the most modern, most lethal weapons. And on the other hand, there are innocent civilians, innocent children. This is not fight against terrorism. This is an occupation, deportation, exile, genocide, and life destruction, mass destruction policy carried out by invoking the events of October the 7th. Today, while Gaza is being destroyed under the pretext of Hamas, concurrently, simultaneously, the West Bank, where Hamas is not in power, is also being occupied step by step, and innocent civilians are being massacred through executions. Moreover, Israel is not limiting itself to Gaza and the West Bank only. By launching attacks on Syria, on Iran, Yemen, and Lebanon, Israel is also threatening regional peace. Just recently, an Israeli attack took place against a delegation meeting in Qatar for ceasefire negotiations. The attack on Qatar has also shown that the Israeli leadership is now completely out of control. Netanyahu is not obviously interested in forging peace or releasing the hostages. Not only Israel's neighbors, but all countries in the Middle East are subject to the Israeli government's reckless threats. And we must realize the following. Due to the increasing aggression of Israel, in Europe and the West in general, the values that emerged after the Second World War have been eroded. The most fundamental human rights, such as freedom of expression, freedom of the press, freedom of assembly and protest, women's rights, children's rights, democracy, equality, and justice, have been shelved away. At this point, we all have to see the following truth, my dear friends. The Israeli government, driven by an obsession with the promised lands, is openly threatening regional peace and the shared values of humanity. Three celestial religions. Jerusalem hosts all three celestial religions, and a common inherited holy place, Al-Quds, is holy for all three religions. This madness disturbs conscientious Jews. It fuels anti-Semitism around the world. We cannot continue with this madness anymore. We have to have ceasefire in Gaza as soon as possible. Attacks should stop. Humanitarian aid should be able to enter with no obstacles. The genocide team should be held accountable vis-à-vis international law. And God willing, this will definitely happen. Vis-à-vis the barbarity taking place in Gaza, everyone who is keeping silent is accomplice to this barbarity. From here, I would like to call on all the heads of state and government. Today is the day. Today is the day to stand firm alongside the oppressed Palestinians and alongside humanity. while your peoples back home are reacting to the barbarity in Gaza, do show the courage to take action here. Fulfill your humanitarian duty toward Gaza, where children are raising children. On this occasion, I would like to say the following. There are peoples all around the world who are taken to the streets. Unarmed activists and volunteers from different countries of the world, academicians, students, journalists, everyone, all the defenders of Palestine. I would like to say to them, thank you so much, and clear bows and favorable winds for their actions. Esteemed delegation members, for 13 years, I have spoken to you from this platform about the oppression and conflicts in our neighbor, Syria. Just as I raise my voice today for the oppressed people of Gaza, likely for 13 years, I have also drawn attention to the cries of the Syrians, and here I became their voice and breath as well. The persecution that caused the deaths of 1 million people and that forced millions more to flee their homeland has, thankfully, become a thing of the past with the December 8th revolution. Our Syrian brothers and sisters opened the doors to a new period as of December the